Alright, what's going on, guys? And welcome back to another video. Anyways, I hope you all are having a beautiful day. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump straight into today's video. So for today's video, I figured we'd go ahead and talk about the whole debate between all there is about the high and the low bar squats. I'm going to be talking about the advantages of each, the disadvantages of each, which one is better, and which one you should do personally. Now, the reason I came up with this video idea is because I do receive DMs every so often from my friends and other people online, and actually some of my clients ask me as well, and obviously I already told them about the reasons about it, but for some of them they want a more in-depth explanation, so I figured why not go ahead and make this video addressing all that for you guys. But before I go ahead and jump right into it, I know that there are dozens of videos out there already talking about this, but I figured that if this somehow becomes the first video that you stumble across talking about this topic, then I'm glad I'm going to be having this up on my channel. And also, note, I am no expert whatsoever when it comes to this, but I figured why not go ahead and share with you guys what I've learned through my personal fitness journey, and who knows, maybe you guys might learn something along the way. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright guys, so let's first talk about the differences between each one. When high bar squatting, the barbell is placed on your traps, and when low bar squatting, the bar is usually placed on the rear deltoid. Next comes the descent. When high bar squatting, the positioning of the bar is set at the center of your foot already. So all you have to do is make sure to keep your spine neutral, chest out, let your butt go straight down, and let your knees fall forward past your toes so that you continue to maintain balance as you perform the squats. As for the low bar squat, due to the positioning of the bar being set lower on your back on your rear delts, when relaxed and standing up straight, you can see the bar is set behind my foot. So what I have to do in order to make sure that the bar is in the center or on the center of my foot and that I maintain balance is I have to lean forward while at the same time sticking my glutes back as I descend. We're now going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages for each of the styles. For the high bar squat, the advantages would be that this form of squatting is awesome for quad development. I remember when I first started getting into weights and doing high bar squats, my quads exploded in size. Well, also due to my mom's genetics. Thanks, Mom. Another big plus of high bar squats is that it puts barely any pressure or strain in your back/posterior chain because the movement requires you to stay upright or nice and straight. Disadvantages would be for the high bar squat is the lack of requirements in the posterior chain and not being able to carry as much weight. So if you are looking for a movement to work out your glutes, your lower back, and your hamstrings, then high bar squatting may not be for you. Another thing I wanted to bring up that I learned recently is with the high bar squats, you also do need good ankle mobility. I personally never thought of it or knew because ankle mobility for me was just never an issue, but it makes sense if you think about it because to make sure the bar is at midfoot and that you're balanced, you must let your knees go past your toes and you gotta make sure to go straight down. Failure to do so will cause an excessive amount of leaning forward, putting pressure in your lower back, or I feel like personally in your entire back and your hamstrings, and you can possibly injure yourself. So if you have ankle mobility issues, be sure to take care of that before you start high bar squatting, or I will go ahead and give you a suggestion shortly of what else you can go ahead and do. Now, moving on to the low bar squat. The biggest advantage, in my opinion, of the low bar squat is the fact that you can carry more weight. The reason why I personally think it's the biggest advantage is because, as some of you guys know, I've recently transitioned into powerlifting not too long ago. And in powerlifting, the goal is to be able to lift as much weight as you can in the safest way possible. The low bar squat requires recruitment of more muscles and the recruitment of your posterior chain. And with the recruitment of more muscles, the more weight your body can naturally push or lift. Also, like I just said not too long ago or a couple of seconds ago, the low bar squat works on your posterior chain. So if you want to work more on your hamstrings and or glutes, then I suggest you low bar. The last advantage that I can think of when it comes to low bar squatting is another good alternative for the high bar squat if you do indeed have ankle mobility issues but you do want to start squatting right away. Since you have to lean forward more to keep the bar at midfoot for balance, that means your body will naturally stick your glutes back and thus your knees won't go too far past your toes, resulting in not much ankle movement. As for which one is better, if you guys have watched other videos from other YouTubers talking about the difference between the high and low bar squats, you guys are probably going to hear the same answer. And to answer this question for you guys, one squat form is not better than the other. It honestly really depends on your goal. If you're looking for functionality, less posterior chain movement, and you're kind of doing more bodybuilding and you want a great exercise for your quads, then I definitely suggest you go high bar. However though, if you're a powerlifter like me, then go low bar. But in conclusion, no one form is better than the other. I believe it's just dependent on your goal. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up today's video, but before I go, I was watching back the footage, and as I was editing the video, I realized I did not talk about the disadvantages of the low bar squat. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and do that for you guys in a short summary. So the two disadvantages of the low bar squat that I can think of off the top of my head is one, the low bar squat neglects the use in your quads, and number two, if you really think about it, you know how I talked about how the low bar squat is very posterior chain friendly? Well, so is the deadlift, as most of you guys know. So if you really think about it, you're practically kind of in a sense doing the same movement. But anyways guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. I know it was kind of short, but I hope you guys did find it helpful, and I hope you guys did learn something new from it. But if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to do me a favor and drop a like, smash the like button, leave a comment down below, share this video with your friends and your family and anyone that you know that this video may possibly help. And last but not least, if you're new here, you want to go ahead and do two things for me. First of all, you want to go ahead and click that red subscribe button to be a part of the family, to be a part of the journey, and to be a part of the fun. And second of all, you want to go ahead and turn on that post notifications, that bell button right there, so you don't miss out on any future uploads and you get notified of whenever I post a video. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for the continuous love and support, and I'll catch y'all in my next video. Peace.